Alright, today we're going to look at two different runs from a pack that I had made, which was designed to focus on defending rather than attacking. So to that end, we've started with a Ghost Kitten, and Ghost Kitten, one of my favourite units in the game. It's such a fun ability and makes interesting battles happen all the time. So yeah, unsurprisingly, if I'm building a team around defensive units, we've got Ghost Kitten in the pack, we've got Nurukabe, I think, and probably Fan Muscle as well, I'm not sure. There aren't that many pets in the game that have damage blocking abilities like that. I think the only one I left out was Fairy Armadillo, because it's just a little bit too strong for my tastes. And I think it would probably end up just carrying the team by itself. So I was trying to mix things up here. We do have some offensive units. You know, it's difficult to make an entire pack just using defensive pets. And there are abilities that you could kind of argue are both attacking and defensive. But we don't have enough attack power here. So yeah, we've got the attack reduction pets as well. You know, we've got the health gain pets like Gargoyle in the shop there. I don't take the Cardinal Fish, but I do take the Kappa, and I think that's probably just because I want to pill it and find something else. Although I do think we end up keeping it here. Yes, the Skeleton Dog is level 2 at the back, but I don't want to play Kappa further back. And also, I don't really care about buffing the Babirusa or the Sneaky Egg. Perfect scenario here where we win and also get the buff from Skeleton Dog. We'll take the Salt on Kappa maybe? Yeah, I don't think Salt on Kappa makes a lot of sense because we don't want it to KO anything on the other side. We would rather it just faints. And then I think I'm going to get rid of one of the tier 1s now and bring in the Angel Shark. Angel Shark will buff the health on the Kappa, so it'll still have pretty poor attack. Again, I can't remember what exactly happens in this run, but I'm pretty sure this is one where I don't quite get what I want, really. So I think that's why we're going to end up looking at two different runs here, because this first one didn't go 100% to plan. So another win from Ghost Kitten at the back. Bonobo in shop, so I'm sure I'm going to take that and go for level 2 Kappa. Okay, we do get a glimpse at the pack here. Yeah, there was no Fairy Armadillo. It was a lot of Danger Pack units. I think I was just trying to feature as many as possible, so we've got the Humphead Wrasse there as well, which is another stat reduction pet. But we also have, of course, the health buffing units and some of the other stat reducers. Looks like we're going to struggle here against Yogru, although the Ghost Kitten should be able to absorb the damage from the Porcupine. It's still not enough. We get our level 2 Kappa. Now, I am going to take the Excalibur toy and just keep buffing the Ghost Kitten at the back. I could have taken, what was the other tier 6 we were offered there? I felt like it was a decent option, but in the end we get this weird roll where I get tons of Angel Sharks. So we're just going to focus buffs onto the Kappa and Ghost Kitten and try and fill the rest of the team out later. The Snow Leopard actually knocks out the Kappa there and cheats the opposing team out of getting any spawns from it. Just the question is whether the Ghost Kitten has enough here. And yes, it blocks a lot of the damage from the Pangasius, so that worked out perfectly. Lots of buffs from the Angel Shark. Yeah, I guess it was Bakunawa that was offered in the previous turn, which again, it doesn't strictly reduce attack, but the ailment itself does, which is why it made it into this team. Of course, we've also got a lot of the perk gaining units or perk giving units. Turtle, what else? Maybe Marine Iguana, I can't remember. I didn't spot it when we had the pack up on screen. Here's another team that isn't going to get as many Kappa summons as we are. I guess the Cerberus actually is kind of anti-synergistic with Kappa in that sense, because it could end up getting a knockout when we don't want that to happen. So maybe I'm going to move Kappa further back. Okay, there is Marine Iguana. And I did have a bunch of the mana pets as well. I guess they do produce snipes if you don't have mana spending units in the team. But like I was saying earlier, it's very difficult to make a whole pack where everything is just defensive. And I suppose in some senses, although they are snipes, they are a bit more passive because they don't happen at start of battle. So again here I think Kappa is going to summon something for them. Yes, but not the second unit that we get. Actually, a lot of people in the last few weeks have been playing Cuckoo with Chocolate Cake in order to try and get the Cuckoo Chick achievement. I'll link Suboptimal's video in the description if you haven't seen it already, which is, I think he had a bit of a struggle trying to get that achievement, and I haven't actually gone for it myself for quite a while. And then this is a perfect opponent because they're going to get absolutely nothing from Kappa, and then the Ghost Kitten blocked a bunch of damage from the snipers. And it's a fairly easy win. So maybe not a typical lineup, but not really a defensive team either. Alright, let's see if we can get something a bit more specifically defensive, and unsurprisingly, I'm going to take the Ghost Kitten again, although I don't think it stays in the team the whole way. It's always very difficult to sell a Ghost Kitten, but sometimes you just have to for the sake of variety. So we've got the Basilisk here. Now Basilisk does have kind of a split role where you can use it defensively to increase the health of your own units, or you can use it offensively in order to deny the ability of an opposing pet. But for now we're just going to use it to prevent the Babirusa giving any health, giving any stats to the other side. And I'm actually going to take Blueberry on Ghost Kitten here as well. Which of course means we're immediately going to face Dolphin, which completely bypasses the Blueberry. But it's going to be a draw anyway. GG's Matchman. One step closer to level 3 Basilisk, although I'm sure I don't have any intention of keeping it here. Maybe at this point I'm starting to think I should give up on buying the health on the Ghost Kitten because I'm going to have to get rid of it. So yeah, we buy it on the RAS instead. I think that was a pretty valuable attack reduction there on the Bigfoot at the front. And it does gain us the tie. We get cheese from the Krill, so RAS is probably the only unit that's staying here, so okay, I do actually give some more stats to the Ghost Kitten. Sometimes the cuteness just gets to me. Cheese is going to get completely blocked by the melon here. Really unfortunate timing. But we did have 5 hearts, so we've got plenty of time to recover. This team really is pretty bad for turn 9, so I need to be getting rid of a lot of these pets. Pretty sharpish. We do get the Foo Dog level up, and we get Gorilla. Now I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the Gorilla here. I don't remember if I had like Firefly or Hedgehog that I could pill to get the permanent coconut, but I really did want to try and use some of the perk gaining pets that are less common. And even though Gorilla is free to play, it's much less common than all the other, all the other guys you would see on tier 6 like Reindeer and so on. I guess with the amount of snipes in the game and the amount of stat reduction and so on, it's a lot harder to get Gorilla to trigger in customs unless you're actually making it happen yourself. So we are going to take the lemon to try and increase the chances of it taking a hit and surviving. And then I do want the bonobo here, so I'm just going to have to take the cows individually, even though level 2 would be incredible. And we get the basilisk level up. So hopefully we can find something decent to pair with the gorilla. Cheese does good work here against the kraken, and then the gorilla does get to activate. Did the ghost kitten actually survive there? I didn't notice. Maybe level 1 wasn't quite strong enough. So the level up produces a bunch of options. We've got Cerberus again, although I think I'm going to go for something different here. And then we've also got Aklut, which is one of the units that I've used the least, I would say, from that update last year. It's kind of awkward compared to its trumpet counterpart, which was Markor, which you definitely see a lot more people play. I guess, being able to spread the buffs out over the team and much more easily duplicate the effects, because, you don't have to repeat the mana application. It's just much better overall. But here, I think it is going to be good enough for us to scrape a draw. So looking at the team composition here, it's turn 12, we only have 4 trophies. We only have one unit that's on its way to being a big unit in the form of the gorilla. And it's going to take us quite a few turns to actually make it very big, so we're kind of relying pretty heavily here on the abilities of the other pets, specifically the wrasse. We get matched with Nick, and I don't think the gorilla coconut is going to be particularly good against this walrus team. Yeah, that was kind of a hard counter. So I think now that I'm realizing, yeah, we're kind of in free fall here. We roll a double Bakunawa. We basically have to take it. And we actually get a really great roll with another Winter Spirit, another gorilla, and the chocolate. Next team is someone using Beluga in order to clone behemoths, which I think is going to get the better of us here. Yeah, kind of unfortunate. I've definitely used that tech myself in plenty of videos in the past, but yeah, if it was a bit more widespread, it would definitely need to be patched out of the game, because I don't think it was ever really designed with a pill in mind. To be honest, Beluga is incredibly strong, even with if it only worked in battle. But I think here is going to be a good example of how powerful the attack reduction can be from the Humphead Wrasse when paired with a unit like Gorilla, because it gives us a much better chance of the Gorilla surviving that first attack and being able to trigger its ability. So level 2 Aklut as well. Maybe I should have been playing double Aklut here so that they were both scaling each other, but I guess that would mean I couldn't use Winter Spirit because the mana, because it wouldn't give the mana to the pets directly in front of it. And we're going to scrape a 1 HP win against Loser Juice there. One step closer to level 3 Wrasse. We are on 1 heart though, and we've got a long way to go. I think maybe there I should have taken the Blueberry on the Bakunawa at the back. This looks very, very scary here. Opposing Gorilla, level 3 with the hatching chick. But the coconut activates just in time and allows us to take the gorilla down and remove the second coconut with a mana snipe. It looked like we were in big trouble there, but worked out perfectly in the end. Little bit of equipment boost on Bakunawa at the back. And here's Rev going for a very funny strawberry team, which I don't think he has uploaded. Maybe he didn't ever get the recording for it, or maybe he's just 6 months behind. But the Panther ability, Panther with Strawberry does work, I think. That was the new Dove ability, which I haven't really used in a video yet, I don't think. What are we looking for now? I guess just equipment. Okay, now everything on the team has a different piece of equipment. And definitely I should be looking for something better for the Humphead Wrasse. This is really nasty where half the team gets deleted, but then the gorilla manages to clear a bunch of units because the big swan at the front had its attack completely torpedoed. We don't get much of a meaningful upgrade on turn 19, just 1 + 1/1 from a Bakunawa. So we need a good matchup here. And it is Nick Resney, biggest whale shark fan in the game. And I think the gorilla, although it's going to gain coconut to replace the weakness, it just doesn't have enough of a mana snipe to take care of the second whale shark. So maybe the old adage of the best defense is a good offense is true.